Hey everybody, this is Unit 3, Formative 2, Graphing Inequalities, Day 1. Alright, so when we graph inequalities, it's going to be very similar to the way that we graphed our other lines in slope-intercept and in standard form. But the only difference is we need to worry about a type of line that we're going to have, and we're going to have something called shading. Okay, so when you have just a greater than or less than symbol in your inequality, you're going to use what's called a dashed line to graph your inequality. Okay, this means that the numbers or the points on that line are not solutions to the inequality. Okay, if you have a greater than or equal to or a less than or equal to symbol, you're going to use a solid line like we're used to, and that means that the points or the numbers on the line are solutions to the inequality. Okay. So let's look at a few examples here. So we have y is less than or equal to 3x minus 4. This equation is in slope-intercept form, so we're just going to simply pull out the slope, which is 3 over 1, and the y-intercept, which is negative 4, just like we're used to. Okay, and from there, we're going to do the same thing, or graph it how we're used to. We're going to put a dot on negative 4, because that's our y-intercept. And then from our y-intercept, we're going to go up 3 over 1, so we're going to put another dot. Okay, so far we've graphed it exactly the same as what we're used to. Now, if we look at our inequality symbol, okay, it's less than or equal to, so we're going to use a solid line for this graph. All right, and then to figure out where our shading is going to be, because we need a shade either on the top or the bottom of the line, we're going to pick a point not on the line. So we can pick the point 0, 0, okay, because it's not on the line. So always use the point 0, 0 if it's not on the line. And what you're going to do is you're going to plug in 0 for x and 0 for y and solve it. So if y is equal to 0, now you have 0 is less than or equal to, 3 times 0 is just 0, minus 4. So 0 is less than negative 4. Okay? And 0 is not less than or equal to negative 4, so that's not true. So that means we cannot shade. So we're not going to shade on this side. We have to shade on the side of the line that is true. So we're just going to shade in this side of the line. And there's your inequality, your graph for the inequality. All right, let's look at one more. So your slope is negative 2 over 3. Your y-intercept is 2. So get your 2 points plotted. So we're going to go up 2, put a dot. From that dot, we're going to go down 2, right 3. All right, now this time, our symbol is just less than. There is no line underneath, so we're going to use a dashed line this time. And this is what your dashed line looks like. Now, if you accidentally draw a solid line, make sure you either correct it or write a little note next to it so I know that it's supposed to be a dashed line. Don't leave me guessing. Okay, and then the point 0, 0, which is right here, is not on the line, so we're going to plug in 0, 0 into our equation. So when we do that, we're going to get 0 is less than negative 2/3 times 0 plus 2, because x is 0 and y is 0. So that leaves me with 0 is less than 0 plus 2, so 0 is less than 2. Okay, and 0 is in fact less than 2, so this time we're going to shade on the side of the line where 0, 0 is. So we're going to shade on this side of the line right here. All right, and that is how you graph your inequalities when they're in slope-intercept form. All right, did you know the word uncopyrightable is the only 15-letter word that does not repeat a letter? All right, so now we have a couple more examples here. This example is in standard form, so we need to graph it like we would normally graph something in standard form. So we're going to find our x-intercept by plugging in 0 for y, so we're going to solve the equation 2x equals 16. So our x-intercept is going to be 8. So we're going to put a dot at 8 on our x-axis. Okay, then we need to find our y-intercept. Well, when we do that, remember, x is going to equal 0. So then we're left with negative 4y equals 16. Divide by negative 4. So y is going to equal negative 4. Okay, so then we're going to plot negative 4 on our y-axis. All right, and this one is going to be a solid line because if you look at the symbol, there's a line underneath it. So we're going to draw a solid line between our x and y-intercept. And then the point 0, 0, same thing again, the point 0, 0 is not on the line. So we can use that to plug into our equation to see if it's a solution. So we have 2 times 0 minus 4 times 0 is less than or equal to 16. Well, all this right here is just going to actually end up equaling 0 because 2 times 0 is 0, 4 times 0 is 0, 0 minus 0 is just 0. So really you have 0 is less than or equal to 16, which is in fact true. 0 is less than or equal to 16. So 0, 0 is on the top of the line. It's on this side, so that is the side of the line that we want to shade. Meaning that all these numbers up here and the numbers on the line are solutions. All right, and one more example here. So we have negative 20 less than negative 5x minus 10y. So we have to find our x-intercept first. So negative 20 is equal to negative 5x. So 4 is going to equal x. Your y-intercept then, x is going to equal 0, so negative 20 is equal to negative 10y. So 2 is going to equal y. Plot 4 on your x-axis, 2 on your y-axis. This is going to be a dashed line because there's no line underneath it. And then 0, 0 is not on the line. Now if 0, 0 were to fall on the line, you have to pick a different point. But 0, 0 is not falling on our line, so it's just a nice one to use. Now when you plug it in, all this right here is going to equal 0. So really all you have to say here is negative 20 is less than 0. And negative 20 is less than 0, so once again we're going to shade on the side of the line where 0, 0 is. All right, and then we have y is greater than or equal to 3. Well, remember, this is going to be a line that has a slope of 0. So really, you're just going to draw a line that goes right through 3 on the y-axis. And it's solid because it has greater than or equal to. And since y has to be greater than 3, we're just going to shade above the line because those numbers are greater than 3. All right, and that is it for graphing inequalities. We will see you later. Make sure you took notes on the video.